Hello family and welcome to this new video from moonwatch.far. Today I am going to introduce you to the very first watch that houses the NH34 GMT caliber from SEIKO and is not a SEIKO. It is the Venezianico Nereide GMT, the new version, and you will see that this watch is offered at an incredible price compared to its features. Alright, let's go. The Venezianico Nereide GMT watch is one of the first automatic watches to use the latest GMT NH34 caliber developed by SEIKO. Born in 2017, the brand Venezianico, then called Meccaniche Venezia, aims to create automatic watches in tribute to the city of Venice by customizing the rotors and mechanical components. Alberto and Alessandro Morelli then embarked on this horological challenge. Today, the distinctive character of Venezianico watches is no longer limited to the decoration of components, but involves the entire creation process to better reflect the values that guide the watchmaking brand. Through iconic design and innovative engineering solutions, Venezianico watches are intended to fully embody the Venetian heritage marked by a pioneering spirit, an innovative and pragmatic approach combined with the pursuit of beauty. Thus, the cross, which is the logo of the Italian watch brand, is the synthesis of multiple symmetries intended to reflect an ideal of balanced harmony. This watch, Venezianico Nereide, takes its name from one of the last marvels of Venetian naval technology, the submarine Nereide. This timepiece, suitable for water sports, will also be an indispensable travel companion for any discerning traveler. It is a watch that was announced in 2022, a unisex watch, as its dimensions are 39mm in diameter and just over 13mm in thickness. It features a steel bracelet, which we will discuss a bit later. This bracelet is quite incredible. The case is made of 3/16 stainless steel. Inside, it features the latest SEIKO automatic caliber NH34A GMT, offering a 41-hour power reserve. This Globetrotter watch is also a diving watch as it is water resistant to 10mm within 200 meters. The glass is sapphire with an anti-reflective coating, and in terms of complications it features a date and of course the second green GMT time zone. First of all, the case of this Nereide GMT measures 39 mm in diameter and a little over 13mm in thickness. Entirely made of 316L stainless steel, this case is designed for practical use of the watch daily, without having to worry about the various shocks and swims it might endure the finishes. The mirror and shiny finish of the case perfectly complement the bezel and this super bracelet, the 120-click unidirectional bezel. I'll let you listen to it. So the bezel is very pleasant to use. I find that it adds volume to this case, and above all, the main feature of this bezel is its BK7 crystal insert. This BK7 crystal has a special mirror finish on its lower half, which characterizes the Venezianico GMT collection. So, for your information, BK7 is a lightweight and durable material, more so than traditional glass, almost as durable as sapphire. I'll show you the mirror effect. I'll try to show it to you on camera. Quite incredible, honestly, it's super pretty, it's quite incredible. This insert will catch the light and you'll really end up with a fully mirrored surface. It's quite pretty because when the insert catches the light, it becomes completely mirrored on the lower part. I had never seen that on any other watch before. We find a crown engraved with the famous cross of Venezianico. It allows you to set the time, date and the second time zone. The grip is excellent and the crown guard is very well integrated into the case. Finally, we find a case back secured by 6 screws. This case back decorated with a world map is practical for having the 24 time zones without needing to look them up on your smartphone. Around this representation of the globe, you will find the major cities of the world listed next to their respective time zones. So, the K37 Venezianico Nereide GMT is black with applied luminous indices. The logo and brand are visible at 12 o'clock, while Nereide GMT, along with a bit of literature, can be found at 6 o'clock. Secondly, the rectangular indices are coated with luminescent materials. The hands are also painted with the same Superluminova BGW9, ensuring excellent readability in the dark. On our model, the hands and indices are made of steel, rose gold, which perfectly complements the color of the bezel. Thirdly, there is a date display located at 3 o'clock. It is discreet and allows for quick reading of the date without overloading the dial. Finally, there is a sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating that protects the dial and hands. This sapphire crystal is flat, thus limiting the thickness of the Italian automatic watch. Today, Venezianico is a name that cannot be ignored in watchmaking. That's why it's the first watch brand to use the new GMT caliber produced by SEIKO, the SEIKO NH34, which equips the new SEIKO GMT. So this SEIKO NH34 caliber is the first affordable GMT caliber from the SEIKO brand. The Japanese manufacturer took several years to offer this robust caliber based on the famous SEIKO NH34. So we don't have a lot of feedback on this caliber yet, but of course there's a good chance that it will be a very robust caliber. It has a power reserve of 41 hours and this movement uses 24 joules to oscillate at 600 beats per hour. No doubt this movement is going to become a staple of affordable watches in the global watchmaking sphere, and it's Venezianico who is one of the first to use it in his collections. Nereide GMT. Now the bracelet of the Venetia GMT watch, Nico Nereide, is a bracelet called Canova, entirely designed and developed by Venezianico. This patented bracelet features an alternation of concave and convex shapes with both glossy and satin finishes. In addition to being superb, this bracelet is incredibly flexible, allowing it to adapt and perfectly fit the shape of the wrist. No doubt about it, the comfort is optimal. Once on the wrist, this bracelet, it is really very, very chic and perfectly matches the shiny bezel. Its integration with the case is perfect. There is no play in the end pieces. Frankly, it's very, very meticulous work. It's very, very beautiful. So, for some, it might be a little too flashy. I will also talk to you about the deployment clasp, which is also magnificent. So, this deployment clasp is marked with the cross of Venezianico, and it perfectly secures the watch on the forearm. There you go. It is reminiscent of certain closure systems used by big names in Swiss watchmaking. And I must admit that I am a big fan of this bracelet. I found it extremely comfortable. It is very beautiful. Frankly, you can see that our Italian friends at Venezianico have done a very, very big job. Whether it's on the integration of the new caliber, the design of this BK7 bezel, or this Canova bracelet, which is magnificent, obviously. If this bracelet is not to your liking, you will have no problem changing it, as the lug width is 20 mm, which is within current standards. And as a result, you can opt for a more traditional bracelet in leather or nylon. Regarding the packaging, you will find a box with the Venezianico logo, inside of which there is a simple white cardboard box. Inside, there's a small grey suede, and the watch is showcased on the presentation cushion. So, we have something very classic, but the finishes are perfect. There are no glue spots, no overflow, no threads sticking out. It's very, very neat. You will also find inside a pouch containing the user manual, the certificate of authenticity, and a small note from the creators. A fun little detail, they also provide a map of the city of Venice. Personally, I love it. It's the kind of detail I really like. It makes you want to go on vacation, take your wife to St. Mark's Square for a little Italian ice cream. Honestly, I find it quite nice. And in addition, Venezianico simply provides their catalog, which is very, very beautiful. Small format, however, the inside is really very, very beautiful. Nothing to say about the price of the watch. They are doing very, very well. Speaking of the price of the watch, let's talk about it. Venezianico launched a pre-order for this Nereide GMT, and this watch was sold at the price of 495 euros. That means for less than 500 euros you could acquire, at least for the first 500 buyers, this model of the Nereide GMT. Those who couldn't take advantage of the offer can be reassured, as the watch is sold for 625 euros, which remains an ultra-competitive price. And this GMT watch seems even more interesting to us than the new SEIKO GMT. Whether in terms of price or even in terms of originality and aesthetics. Why? Because the new SEIKO GMT, aside from the GMT caliber, which is truly an addition to SEIKO's range, in terms of aesthetics, it's a watch we've seen again and seen yet again, which has been made in this style thousands of times. As a result, it's not very interesting. Whereas this Nereide, whether it's the bezel, the dial, the Canova bracelet, really, the entire watch is very harmonious and very, very beautiful, very original. So, €495 for the pre-order price, €625 for the public price, and it's still an excellent price. I also wanted to point out that there are other color variations available. I personally have a strong preference for the blue model. In fact, I think they are all beautiful, and there is something for every style. And once again, Venezianico has done a great job even with the harmony of the colors. So, personally, I had long hesitated to get myself a Venezianico Nereide watch in the diving watch version. And then it didn't happen. But this GMT version has definitely won me over, especially for less than €500. It would have been silly to miss out. Obviously, the attractive price is not for nothing. Less than €500 in pre-sale. There aren't many watches on the market for less than €500. Otherwise, we would stick with Casio, Citizen, SEIKO, on models that everyone has, not very original. Here, for less than €500, we have a refined design for this watch, which is both a diving watch and a GMT watch. It's neither too big nor too small, the watch is comfortable to wear, and the thickness is suitable. Even though I would have liked to have this watch with a thickness of 10 or 11 mm, it would have been amazing. The Canova bracelet. I'm a huge fan. I've never had this kind of bracelet. And honestly, between the flexibility that provides comfort and the visual effect between the different satin, polished and mirror surfaces, this bracelet is amazing. A little note, family, before I leave you. It's important to mention that we don't have a lot of feedback on this new Calypso SEIKO GMT NH34. During all my tests, it performed really well. A very small deviation of 8 seconds. After that, we need to see how it will evolve over time. We'll also have to wait a few years to have a bit more perspective on this caliber. But there's a good chance that it will be a killer caliber, somewhat like the NH34. There you have it, family. Before I let you go, remember to leave me a little comment to tell me what you think of this Nereide GMT. Honestly, isn't it a bomb? This watch, I tell you. See you soon for another video. Activate the bell, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, it makes me happy. And I almost forgot. For the haters, if you don't like it, well, don't watch. Bunch of fools. Alright, bye family.